First at 4, Detroit police respond to a car crash and find something much more mysterious. 2 men are dead. We're tracking the investigation. Also, everyone was on high alert for this pro-gun rally in Virginia. We have the very latest from the controversial demonstration. Paula.
Not just a day of service, we're talking about a lifetime of service. How about this? A lifestyle of service in a donated rickety bus, lots of donated items, and the heart of a woman who came from the task corridor.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, Paula. Plus, the sunshine isn't really warming us up today, so how long will this bitter cold stick around? Here's a hint, not too long. Your news and weather are first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, Detroit police are trying to solve a deadly mystery on the city's east side. It started with a report of a car crash. Officers responded to the area of Waltham and Eastwood near 7 Mile Road. They were investigating a car that hit a fence just after 2 in the morning. Then they found 1 man dead inside the car, another dead outside the vehicle, both from apparent gunshot wounds. A neighbor who is a minister described seeing a woman at the scene grieving over the loss of her best friend.
She was distraught. It was sad. The first thing that comes to my mind is this: were they saved? Were they Christian? Did they know the Lord? That's all I could think about.
Now, police are searching for a gunman, trying to figure out why these 2 men died. We'll track the investigation, also hear from family members of the victims tonight at 5. Moving to Clinton Township, police say a domestic relationship turned deadly after a man is killed inside of an apartment complex. This happened Sunday in the area on South Grange. That's in the area of 16 Mile and Harper. Police say the 28-year-old man was shot in the stomach. He was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. A 27-year-old woman was arrested at the scene, and we're told the 2 were in some type of relationship. So far, no word on charges in this case. We do have a Local 4 update on a story we did last week, first at 4. We told you about the online support for Savannah's restaurant in Trenton. The owners told us they plan to close on February 1st, in part because of a health issue. Well, now we've learned Savannah's is already closed. A voicemail response says circumstances occurred that meant they had to close right away. The message also offers instruction on what to do with those unused gift cards. Based on the online response, Savannah's will be dearly missed. Well, we all made it through that weekend snowstorm, right? Well, now we have to hold on until things warm up. Andrew Humphrey in for Ben today. And Andrew, I hear we're not expecting any relief tonight.
Well, Karen, yes, we have that snuggle weather in place. Welcome to MLK Day, everybody. We're looking at blue skies overhead, and yes, it is still sub-freezing out there. Watch out for slick spots despite the sunshine. We've got 26 degrees, and bundle up as you head out to ceremonies and commemorations through this afternoon and this evening. It feels like it's in the teens. Current wind chill right now is 18, and temps and wind chills will keep going down as we go into tonight. 23 right now for our friends in Pontiac, 24 in Mount Clemens. It feels like the teens everywhere, not just here in Motown. Feels like 13 over in Port Huron, 15 in Howell. So for this evening, temperatures go from mid-20s to low 20s to teens by the time ceremonies end later on tonight. On the ride home, we'll still have dry conditions, clear skies overhead. We'll talk more about those higher temperatures for later this week, Karen, in minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. The impeachment trial of President Donald Trump will get down to business in less than 24 hours from now. Both sides have been honing their arguments for the past 2 days. Local 4's Kimberly Gill in the newsroom with some of those arguments and how this is expected to play out. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. President Trump's legal team submitted a new 110-page brief today. We're told this version shifted toward a more legal response, but it still hinges on the president's assertion that he has done nothing wrong. The president's team is arguing that since President Trump did not break any laws, he can't be impeached. However, the Constitution does not require a material violation of the law, but offers rather the vague definition of, quote, other high crimes and misdemeanors. On the other hand, House managers call the president's behavior toward Ukraine, quote, the worst nightmare of the men who wrote the Constitution. Things get started tomorrow at 1 p.m. and are expected to last through at least 5 or 6 p.m. each day. Right now, the biggest question to be decided, will the Senate consider new evidence and hear from new witnesses? Today at 5:30, we'll have a more detailed look at what we're calling Impeachment 101 to sort of show you some of the factors that will play into the decision about evidence and witnesses. Karen will keep you posted every step of the way. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
And Kim, do we have any kind of perspective on how long this trial might last?
You know, Karen, not really. For some perspective, former President Bill Clinton's trial took 5 weeks. There are reports that Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is trying to craft a so-called kill switch to end the trial if he thinks it's going on too long. So we'll have to watch what happens, and when the Senate sets the ground rules tomorrow, we'll, of course, keep you posted.
All right, a busy day ahead.
Indeed.
Thank you, Kim. Well, this has been an anxious day in Richmond, Virginia, where gun rights activists have staged a massive rally at the state capitol. Virginia's legislature is now dominated by Democrats who are proposing several gun control laws. Organizers of today's protest planned a peaceful event, but law enforcement had reason to believe extremist groups might use the rally to stir up trouble. Guns were banned at the rally site, and a strong police presence kept everything orderly. For the most part, gun control advocates decided to stay away. Meantime, an interfaith prayer service was also held in Richmond, not far from the rally site. Organizers said they were seeking a peaceful event to overcome what they saw as feelings of fear leading up to the gun rights rally. Police in 2 U.S. cities are investigating deadly shootings at bars that left 4 people dead and several injured. One gunman is on the loose right now. First, we go to Kansas City, where a bar there was hosting a party to celebrate the Chiefs' victory Sunday, sending the team to the Super Bowl. Police say a man opened fire on the people waiting to get inside. 2 died, 1 person waiting in line, and we're told the security guard shot and killed the gunman. 15 others are injured. So far, we don't know what led up to the shooting. Meantime, police in San Antonio say an argument inside a bar there escalated to a shooting that left 2 more people dead and 5 others wounded. That happened Sunday night near San Antonio's popular Riverwalk district. The shooter in this case got away. The 2 men killed were both in their 20s. Police say at least one of those victims knew the shooter. The 5 people who were hurt are expected to survive. From coast to coast and all over Metro Detroit, many of you spent part of the day remembering Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In the nation's capital, people gathered at the King Memorial. A wreath was laid at the base of King's statue on the Washington Mall. Today is a day of remembering Dr. King's message and serving others. And on this day of service, we're going to highlight the efforts of a woman who's been helping others for 30 years now. She returns to the neighborhood where she grew up on the 3rd Monday of each month in a rickety bus that carries food and comfort. Our Paula Tutman went for a ride with the woman behind the wheel of God's Favor.
So, of course, we all know that a lot of people have taken the day off and they consider this a day of service. Here's the difference with this particular group. Here's the difference with Louise. This isn't a day of service for her. This is a lifestyle for her.
Everybody knows God's favor.
Her name is Louise Fincher, and she is her neighbor's keeper in every sense of the word.
We've got pants, and we've got sweatshirts, and we've got blankets.
For 29 to 30 days out of each month, she's collecting food, clothing, toiletries, whatever she can. And then, without fail, on the 3rd Monday of each month, she travels the streets of Detroit in her rickety donated school bus. And with God's favor, she travels the streets and underpasses looking for people who need her.
God loves you. Hey, you need a blanket? Okay, here we go.
She knows these streets well. The Cass Corridor was her childhood home.
My mom was the only one that raised me because my dad was an alcoholic and he was on the street, no shoes. To me, I was a kid. I thought, not having anything was the norm.
But for the grace of God, it would still be her home. But when she moved up and on and away, her heart stayed. And so she comes to help because she knows intimately what is needed here.
And then they'll pass them out, all right?
Because it's Martin Luther King Day, today Louise has help. A hockey team, a few folks who have the day off, people looking to do good works for the day. She's always thankful for the help, whether it's donations, money, or hands for the day.
They always coming out here helping, and I really appreciate and respect that. I have 3 young children that I'm trying to get myself together for, and hopefully it's coming soon. But with the help of them to give me hope.
It's a 1X hoodie.
But on the streets, people know it's the third Monday and actually look for Louise in her rickety bus, courtesy of the Belleville Church of God, which is her nonprofit sponsor. Those in need receive God's favor from the hands of a neighbor who knows this is not just about service for the day. It is about service for a lifetime. Paula Tutman, Local 4.